This is how we assemble the Extreme 2. There are 3 feet. One has a slant inside. This goes on the ladder. Slip it on and align the holes. There are 3 bolts for this foot. One is longer and it goes on the hole that aligns with the hole where the hose comes out. Take a bolt, then a flat washer, push it through the hole, then a flat washer and a nut. Then repeat this process for the other 2 bolts and then fully tighten them, all 3 bolts at this time. Okay, then lay the cardboard from the box on the ground so the slide does not get scratched. Position the entry section like you see here. Then feed the hose down the ladder. Then from the foot end, push it through the hole. Then push and pull the hose through the ladder till the entry section seats with the top of the ladder. Then align the holes. Next, take a bolt, then a lock washer and a flat washer, and then don't forget to use the anti-seize on each one of the bolts. If you don't, they're going to lock up on you. Anyway, insert the bolt into the hole and then hand tighten. We're only going to hand tighten at this time. Then repeat that process for the other 3 holes. To attach the handrails to the entry section, we're going to use 7 awl threads. Now there are 5 small ones and 2 longer ones. The longer ones go in the 2 lower positions, there and there. You just take them with your hand and you screw them in. Now don't use any kind of mechanical means or you'll strip them. Yeah, just like that. And the short ones go in these 5 positions. And they just screw in just like the long ones. Just like that. And then, of course, don't forget the anti-seize. Okay, the handrails are directional. There's a curve right there. And those should point inwards. Okay, next we want to take the awl threads and the handrail and align them with the holes in the entry section. Just line up the holes, just like that, and then push them into the hole. Yep, just like that. Okay, then we want to take a nut and our socket extension, slip the nut into the end of the socket, then reach up through the hole in the bottom of the entry section and hand tighten the nut on. Then repeat that for all the other 5 short awl threads on each entry. Then what we want to do is on the 2 longer ones on each side is take a flat washer and then the nut and then go ahead and put them on. Repeat that. And then once we have them all on and hand tighten, then we want to take our socket and reach in and tighten all 7 on each side. And once they're all tightened, don't forget the small rubber caps on the exposed nuts. Okay, we're going to put the feet on the other 2 legs now. Now you'll notice there's 4 holes on each end. It's not directional. You can put the foot on either end. Just slip it over like that. Align the holes. And then take a bolt. Slip on a flat washer. Push the bolt through the hole. Take a flat washer and then the nut in that order. Go ahead, slip them on and then hand tighten them, and then repeat that process for the other 3 bolts. Then when you've got them all in there, go ahead and tighten them, fully tighten them at this point, or you won't be able to get back in there and do it later. Of course, repeat that for all the other bolts. For the flume assembly, on the non-gasket flange of the flume section, there is either an A, B, or a CD embossed. If you want a left turn slide, then AB will be the upper flume. Okay, take the bolt and then put some anti-seize on it. Then we're going to take a flat washer, slip it over the bolt, and then what we want to do is align the flanges, the holes in the flanges. Just like that. Now it helps to do the center hole first. Push the bolt through. And we're going to take a flat washer, then a lock washer, and then the nut. And right now we're just going to hand tighten them. And then we repeat that process. You put the flat washer, some anti-seize, push it through. Then a flat washer, lock washer, and the nut. And then repeat that process for the other holes. Next, repeat the process for the exit section. Now we're going to add the legs to the flume. The shorter one goes on the lower flume. Just slip it over the receiver. And align the holes. Once the holes are aligned, we're going to take a bolt and then a flat washer, anti-seize, and then go ahead and hand tighten them. Repeat the process for the other 3 holes, and then repeat the process for the longer leg, which of course goes on the upper flume. Okay, then we add the awl threads into the entry section. There are 5 of the same length of awl threads for the entry section. Just simply take them and screw them in by hand tighten, but no mechanical means or you'll strip them. And you do that for all 5 holes. Okay, next, stand the slide up and then slip the awl threads in the entry section into the holes in the upper flume. Next, we're going to take a flat washer, and then a lock washer, and then a nut. So the flat washer, lock washer, and then the nut. And then you repeat that process for the other 4 bolts. Okay, what we want now is to get a smooth, even transition on the slide right there at the flanges. So once you've got it, then what you do is you start tightening the bolts underneath in an alternating fashion, left to right, until it's fully snug. But you want to maintain that smooth transition. And then I'm going to repeat the process at the next flange. Again, tightening them up in alternating fashion. Left, right, left, right. And then where the entry section meets the top of the flume. Go ahead and tighten them all up now. Okay, we put the slide in what will be its final position, and then we make sure that each of the legs is level. We check it in both axes, just like that. Make sure that it's plumb, both legs. And then we make sure that the step are at a 16-degree angle. Tighten all the leg bolts, and then using a Sharpie and the foot as a template, mark the location for all the bolt holes. Okay, then hook the water hose to your water stub up. Make sure to use the included ball valve so you can adjust the flow of water to the slide. This is how we drill the anchor bolts for the extreme slide. What you want to do is we're going to do all three of the feet exactly the same way. So what you're going to use is the foot itself as a template. Take a marker and go ahead and just mark the locations for each of the drill holes for all 3 feet. Now you're going to need a hammer drill and a 3/8 inch masonry bit. Now what we want to do is we want to mark that to be 1 3/4 inches deep. That's where the tape's at, so we know how far to go down. And you simply just drill the holes for all the feet, and then you want to make sure that you clean all the debris out of the hole. Sometimes a garden hose or compressed air works. Alright, then you pick up the anchor bolt, the fat side goes down, put a nut on the end just like that, slip it into the hole, and then take a hammer and just tap it in until it hits the bottom of the hole, just like that. And you go ahead and take the nuts off. And of course you're going to repeat that process for all of the bolt holes. Then you pick up the slide, reposition it, and slip them over the nuts just like that. And you put a flat washer and a nut. And then you take your wrench and you go ahead and just tighten them up nice and firm but not over tight. Now when you're finished with that, repeat the process for all the bolts. Then you take a protective cap, you slip it over each of the exposed nuts, and that's it.